Okay guys, it is Dr. D back with another video. I am here today to talk to you guys about another story that was on my mind today when I woke up. So basically, as you can see by the title, it is the day I got the call that my puppy Skippy passed away. And I never really talked about it before. Wasn't sure when I was really gonna share this story, if I even was. I never really gave any indication that he had passed away on my Instagram. I just kind of stopped posting about him. And then I started posting about my new dogs that I got shortly after he had passed, Chance and Cooper. But anybody who has been with me since day one knew that I had had Skippy since I moved here in California. And actually that I had him with us when we were in Miami. And that's when I had gotten him, when he was a baby. So I've never really lived in California without him. He came across the country with us. In fact, he was the only one that rode in the car with me and my husband. CJ came on a plane with my family to California. So he got lucky and drove with us because he was going to be less maintenance versus CJ was a young baby. And, well, he was a toddler, and that was just going to be a little too much to take on the road. So Skippy was our baby who was really with us through thick and thin and always kept us smiling. And so he was just, you know, someone that really was up under me 24/7. When everybody worked at one point in this house, everybody was gone out to work. And I always worked remote since I moved here with my full-time job when I got here, both of my jobs. And he was always used to me. So he was the one that kept close to me and kept tabs on me and vice versa. And so I was really like his everything and relied on me for everything. And I could say I relied on him for a lot of things that, you know, you couldn't get from humans. You know, that unconditional things that will make you smile when somebody else wouldn't give it to you. I guess I would say you could look at Skip and Skip would give it to you. Skip was always that person who, see, I'm calling him a person. It was always that. He was like a person to me, okay? He would just do some things that would just make me always smile. He'd lay on top of all my wigs. He'd lay on top of all my warm clothes. I'm going to probably put some pictures of him of just laying on my wigs, or as soon as I wash clothes, laying in the basket. Wherever I went, he was there. If I was in the bathroom on the toilet, he was right there. In the mornings, he would never just, if I didn't move, he didn't move. Everybody else in the house moved, he'd move. He was just up under me, up under my desk when I worked. He was there, on the couch next to me. Over the years, if I've had any kind of surgery, if I was sick, he was up on the top part of the couch right behind my head. He knew when I wasn't feeling well. He would be near me. If I was pregnant, he was near me. When I was pregnant throughout my pregnancy with Dionna, he was always up under me. And so he was just my baby. And I remember the morning that I was leaving. So this is what happened. I was leaving to go and speak at Penn Foster in Pennsylvania for the graduation. And so if you guys haven't seen that, check out that footage on my page. By now I should have the actual graduation footage of me speaking at Penn Foster on my YouTube page. And then I've had clips of it also on my Instagram. The experience at Penn Foster was phenomenal, and I was supposed to be doing a lot more graduations after that, and then COVID hit. So I loved the experience. There was a lot of students that were so moved, and families that were moved by my speech. I talked about, you know, being molested as a kid. I talked about, you know, a lot of things that people just didn't know about me. My mom was there, and so it was amazing to share her, that experience with her, and her being able to share that with other moms and people from DC. A lot of people were in tears that they were to move that much. They were in tears. So I'm hoping I'll be able to put some more of those pictures into my intro video as well for this channel, and then also post some more onto my platform and my website. But that was where I was headed to. And I normally don't travel without either my husband or my kids, but for this I was starting to get back into the swing of things since before having my daughter, because I was an author and a speaker before her, but things kind of slowed down because I had lost my dad, which will be another story time of how I got that call and what that experience was like for me and how my life had changed after he passed and losing him. And then I had went into surgery and gallstones, lost, you know, just a lot of things that went on, gallbladder and all that things. But that'll be a whole nother set of story time for you guys. So look forward to that as well. But I was headed to that, and one of my very good friends, Scott, shout out to you, who went with me on that trip. So that's the only person who can go with me. And he went with me on that trip. But that morning, I remember, like I said, Skip doesn't move unless I move in the mornings. And I got up. Everyone else was still asleep. It was pretty early because I was catching a flight out. And he moved when I moved. Let him out his bed. And we went downstairs. I let him out to go to the bathroom. He good. He did the same thing with CJ when he was little. He came to CJ life when he was about 4, I believe. And he was just crazy about him ever since. And so everybody in the house was used to him. So he'll go about his business. He'll come check on everybody. And he'll get in his bed before everybody else if he have to. He was just a good dog. So I'm trying to get my current dogs to that stage, but they're just not at that point yet. So anyway, let's close the door. Head on to the airport. Think of them a little bit on the way out. But then I just go on about my day. We're still 3 hours behind in Cali. And I talked to my family, and they were all getting ready to go to bed. And me and Scott had a crazy day. I thought I had lost my wedding ring while we were out at PF Chang's eating. And it had slid down in the bag. So we like backtracking. And we're like looking and looking and looking. And eventually I found it. But it was just one of those days for us missing a flight and doing that. And he's vlogging all of this stuff. So eventually we might put this stuff up so you guys can see. But he's trying to get my reaction. And I'm like really not having it. I'm like irritated or whatever. But he's still trying to record the whole moment and everything. So he's so good at stuff like this. And I guess keeping the people who are overwhelmed like myself calm. Because in moments like this, I'll shut down everything. Like I don't want to be bothered. So, you know, we keep going through everything, and finally the car come, we drive and whatever, and we stop at a gas station. And my husband, I had just talked to my husband, everybody's going to bed, and we stop at a gas station, and I think Scott, I go out first and get my stuff while the driver waits, and then I come back to the car. Scott goes out. Then I get the call from my husband that something had happened, and once they had turned on the lights, they realized Skip wasn't breathing. And so my husband had so what else that you guys didn't know is that Scott's wife was also within the area of our home. She was able to watch the kids while my husband was able to take Skippy to rush him to the closest vet to find out if he was going to make it or so. And when he got there, apparently he didn't make it. But so he was able to leave the kids. So while Scott was with me, his wife was there at our house. And so that was helpful because we didn't have no family here. We have no family here. But that weekend, Scott was able to, him and his wife was able to stay with us while he came with me, and she was there at their home, which was outside of our home. So just for that time. So anyway, what else went on? So as Scott is in the store, the driver is in the front seat, and he hears me talking to my husband, trying to elaborate on what's going on. And I'm screaming, and I'm trying to understand what my husband's saying. And I'm kind of going a little crazy because I'm like, what? No, what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? So my husband's like, I'm going to call you back. I think Skip's gone. I think Skip's gone. And so I'm just like going crazy, like, no. So as I think I jump out the car just to get some air, and I walk around, and so Scott comes back, and the driver's trying to make out to Scott who I'm talking to, and all he can say is whoever Skippy is, he might be dead or something like that. And so Scott's like, what? So Scott knows that his wife is within the area of our house, so he's like trying to get a hold of her. So I guess she's telling Scott, he's able to get a hold of her, and she's telling Scott what she can make of what's going on. It was just such, and I had this, at this point, it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, guys. Maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, because I think we got to our room between 2 and 3 at the hotel. And I had to be on the stage, ready to speak. I believe I had to be ready to be picked up at 9, meaning the makeup artist had to come there. I had to be dressed. Or I had to be ready to be picked up by 9 because I had to be ready to get to the facility by 11. And when I tell you it was time to get up the next day, it was just, it was the my mindset. So when you guys see that speech, please think about what I'm telling you. My mind was only on my speech and Skippy. And I was just a nervous wreck in the inside. So it was all God that had me to deliver in the way that I delivered, guys. It was one of the craziest things that I could go through, but still deliver what needed to be delivered and give what needed to be give to everybody who needed to hear from me that day. So sometimes you can give the best of you to others when you are going through something far more painful and have made a difference in so many people's lives that day. When I left out of that facility to meet everybody at the end and begin to sell my books to people, it was so many people in tears. And that was the hardest thing for me to keep thinking about. Like when I came back home, I just broke down in tears, and I had asked my husband to remove as much as he could out of the house before I got back, because I knew everything around the house was going to remind me of him, every walk of the house. I had never lived here without him. And that was so painful. I'm going to do my best not to even cry in this video because, just thinking about it can bring me tears. He was just everything to us. And then when we got our new dog, Cooper, he reminds us of Skippy in so many ways. He's a little bit more mischievous. He's our little wild child. But he does things sometimes that remind us of Skippy. And it's really crazy. Like a Skippy reincarnated. But we used to call him Skippy so much. Now, not just him. Everybody in our family called him Skippy. We couldn't stop calling him Skippy. And we wanted to almost change his name to Skippy because we couldn't stop. But I'm glad we didn't. Because he wasn't Skippy. And he isn't Skippy. And Skippy could only be one Skippy. And so I miss just certain things in the house. And, excuse me guys, I didn't really know what that was going to feel like until I did it again, because it had gotten so quiet. It gotten so, felt like it was not normal. Our family wasn't complete. And eventually I kept searching around, and I found a couple of sites like Greenfield Puppies, and I've had good and bad reviews, and it's like looking for socks but for dogs. It was so many beautiful dogs, and then they had good reviews and bad reviews, and people who speak English and who didn't speak English, and now you can rent a dog and purchase a dog on credit, and it was just crazy. It's like when you've been out of the loop for so long, just like when you have kids and then you come back and have another kid, like between Sienna and CJ's age gap, it was just like all this new stuff, and you're just like, what? And so it was the same thing with getting a new dog. I was like, oh, I can purchase a dog on credit, and then I can do this and I can do that. I didn't do none of those options. I just got lucky and found another person out there, 21 people of talking different languages and Amish families or whatever, and these farms. Finally found somebody that understood my humor and understood me enough. Do you have any more dogs? And he said, I got one left. Nobody seems to have one of them or gotten him because he was the biggest one of the brunt. So do you want him? I said, send me a picture. So he sent me a picture. He was gorgeous. But he's the biggest one, but I didn't care. He was cute. I was like, I need to have 2 now. So I don't want to go through that experience again, and they don't have, well, Cooper was used to having somebody around. Plus, I was like, I want 2. I don't want to experience that again. I don't want to experience that heartbreak for just 1. I wanted to be able to have 2. And then I felt like I would always have another dog already here, and then they would have each other. And I always see people with 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, 5. I guess if I had a bigger house, maybe I'd consider more. But, and then I see in pictures now on Instagram, they have like 5 different poodles, and they're so gorgeous. And I want them too, but I don't know. I don't know why I said gorgeous like that, but I did. It's not my norm, but anyway. So that's the story, guys, and that's how I got the call and what it was like for me. And it was a crazy one for me, and I miss Skip all the time. We still say Skip. We still mess up all the time saying it. He just was a huge impact on our family. And my baby girl, because she saw what she saw, she cries from time to time still, and depending on how long it takes her to cry. You know, as a psychologist, I try to utilize my skills sometimes here and there with analyzing how serious the situation is with her. But I may consider getting her therapy if she needs it. Haven't seen the need just yet, but she does cry from time to time about Skippy. And what we did get is we got paw prints. I couldn't find a paw print. If I find it, I'll insert the picture. But we got a letter from the whole Banfield where he was going. His doctor was also close to me, and we used to email all the time. And the whole Banfield sent all these nice messages from the staff. It was so sweet, guys. It was so hard to tell them too that he had passed, because we had just came from appointment. We were on top of everything. Like, he had his insurance, his checkups on time. They was just, everybody used him as groomer. Shout out to you, Jen. Like, gosh, everybody knew him. We were on time with everything. His groomer up in Florida, who used to come to the house every 2 weeks, I didn't let her, but I alerted everybody that I could without it breaking me down. This is what came from the hospital, I believe. Pets R Us, yes. They got this. And then we got these. And we've been talking about, and this came with his name on it, I think. Let's see something. We've been talking about taking this and putting it somewhere. When I do the story time about my dad, I also have a letter to my dad in a bottle that I was going to put into the ocean, but the day that I went to do it, it was so windy that I felt like it was going to wash back to shore. So from shore back to the sand, so I didn't do it. But I've been wanting to go on like a trip and take that as well as this and my dad's bottle somewhere and just kind of really take it where I know it's going to be there. So, and never really come back as therapy for all of us. So I may do that at some point in time, like maybe if I go to a real trip or something. But we have these, and this has been on a bookshelf. So if you ever see me filming in the family room where I have the bookshelves, you'll see that behind me. But that's basically it. I was supposed to do this video while putting up clothes, but you see I didn't touch putting up any clothes. I didn't touch anything or put up anything. Just trying to have a moment with you guys and just talk to you guys. And remember, you guys, I was telling you about I either wear a red or a blue shirt. This is that blue shirt you'll probably see me in. So I'm gonna apologize now for that in case I wear that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times a video. Shout out to her for this shirt. I don't know, didn't really make a big deal of it. She just kind of gave me one and my husband one, and we just wear them as regular house shirts. And mine's is a regular little weekend shirt, out to the house running errand shirt. But basically, guys, okay, I think I said enough on this video and shared enough with you guys today. I will see you guys in the next video. If there's anything I forgot, let me know. Comment, subscribe, like. Be sure to put your notifications on so that you're not missing another video. And I'm looking forward to bringing you guys more story time, more content, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see that I did not mention that's coming your way. And I still haven't decided on if I'm calling you guys my squad, my team, my peeps, my fam, my gang, or what. But keep me posted on what you guys want for now. Excuse me. I need some more water. I think I've been talking a little too much. What do you guys think? For now, we out. Peace.